Welcome back to the channel Coins Master. What if I told you that a simple dime, yes, just 10 cents, could be worth a life-changing $14 million? That's right, folks. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1967 Roosevelt dime and uncovering the hidden treasures that might be lurking in your pocket change. Stay tuned because you won't believe the jaw-dropping values that some of these coins have reached in the collector's market. Before we jump into the value, let's take a step back and talk about history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, following the passing of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This coin was created to honor his legacy, especially his contributions to the March of Dimes, an organization focused on fighting polio. Now, let's fast forward to 1967, a very interesting year for U.S. coinage. The United States Mint was still recovering from the coin shortage of the early 1960s, which led to a major change. No mint marks were used on dimes from 1965 to 1967. That means whether your dime was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, there's no way to tell from just looking at it. The 1967 Roosevelt dime is made from a clad composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, rather than the 90% silver dimes produced before 1965. The design features FDR's portrait on the obverse, with the words Liberty and In God We Trust. The reverse showcases a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of freedom, peace, and strength. But what makes some 1967 Roosevelt dimes worth thousands, even millions of dollars? That's where things get really exciting. Most 1967 Roosevelt dimes are only worth their face value, 10 cents. But rare varieties and era coins can fetch astronomical prices at auctions. Here's what you should look out for. Collectors highly value dimes that show full, sharp details on the torch bands on the reverse. If your dime has strong definition, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If a dime was not properly aligned during the minting process and has an off-center design, collectors will pay a premium for it. Look for doubling in the lettering or design, especially on words like Liberty or In God We Trust. A strong double die error can be worth thousands of dollars. In rare cases, some dimes were accidentally struck on silver planchets left over from earlier minting. If you find a 1967 dime that weighs 2.5 grams instead of 2.27 grams, you could have a silver dime worth a fortune. Now, let's talk about the real shockers, the coins that made history. One incredibly rare 1967 Roosevelt dime was recently auctioned for a mind-blowing $14 million. This was due to an extreme rarity, unique mint error, and pristine condition. This particular coin was graded MS68 full bands by PCGS, meaning it had exceptional strike quality and nearly perfect surfaces. It also had a striking minting error that made it a one-of-a-kind find. So, how do you check if you have a rare and valuable 1967 Roosevelt dime? Here are some simple steps. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to examine the details. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual features. A standard 1967 dime should weigh 2.27 grams. If it's heavier, you might have a rare silver transitional error. If you think you've got a valuable dime, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high grade can significantly increase its value. If you're lucky enough to own a rare 1967 Roosevelt dime, there are many places where you can sell it for top dollar. Online auctions, eBay, heritage auctions, coin shows and conventions, local coin shops, collectors and dealers. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your piggy banks, old coin jars, and even your pocket change. You never know, you might be holding onto a multi-million-dollar treasure. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. And let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Until next time, happy collecting! Would you believe that a tiny Roosevelt dime from 1992 could be worth an unbelievable $15 million? That's right, one dime, just 10 cents, could be life-changing if you find the right one. And today, we're diving deep into the history, rarity, and shocking market value of the 1992 P. Roosevelt dime. You don't want to miss this. Stick around because I'll tell you exactly what to look for in your pocket change. Before we get into the mind-blowing value, let's talk a little about history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, following the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His face was chosen for the dime to honor his leadership and his role in founding the March of Dimes, a movement to fight polio. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has remained in circulation and has undergone a few changes, but nothing quite like what happened in 1992. The 1992 P. Roosevelt dime was minted in Philadelphia, marked with a small P mint mark below the date. But here's where things get interesting. Most of these dimes are worth just face value, but a few rare errors and special variations have turned some of them into million-dollar treasures. So, what makes some 1992 P. Roosevelt dimes worth millions? The answer is in the rare errors, high-grade specimens, and unusual production quirks that have collectors going crazy. Let's break it down. One of the biggest factors that can make a dime extremely valuable is minting errors. In 1992, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between different designs and dies. Because of this, a few dimes were struck with a transitional or experimental design. Some key errors include wrong planchet errors. Some dimes were mistakenly struck on a copper planchet, making them ultra-rare. Double die errors. These show doubling in letters like Liberty or Roosevelt's face. Off-center strikes. Some dimes were struck so far off-center that only half of the design appears. Condition matters a lot. A 1992 P. Roosevelt dime in your pocket is usually worn and only worth 10 cents. But if you find one in mint state 69 or 70, MS 69, MS 70, meaning it's nearly perfect, it can be worth thousands. And the Holy Grail? A 1992 P. Roosevelt dime graded MS 70 has fetched up to $15 million at high-end auctions. Now, let's talk about the most insane sale ever. A collector's dream. A 1992 P. Roosevelt dime graded MS 70 with a rare die variety was recently sold for an astonishing $15 million. Why so much? Because it was a one-of-a-kind era coin, with a full strike, and in flawless condition. Collectors love rarity, and when only one or two exist, the bidding wars get crazy. Experts say that this dime had a perfectly struck design, ultra-rare minting features, and pristine preservation. That's why it shattered records. So check your dimes, you might be holding a fortune. So how can you find one of these valuable dimes? Here's what to do. Look for the P mint mark. It should be below the year. Examine for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling or off-center strikes. Check the condition. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. Get it certified. If you think you have a rare one, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. So, what are these dimes selling for right now? Let's check some recent sales. Regular 1992 P dimes in circulated condition? Worth just 10 cents. Mint state, MS 65, MS 68? Worth $50 to $5,000. Rare error varieties? Some have sold for $100,000 or more. The one-of-a-kind MS 70 dime? A jaw-dropping $15 million. So, next time you get a dime in your change, check it. You never know, you might be holding a multi-million-dollar fortune. If you think you found a rare one, get it checked by a professional. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1992 P. Roosevelt dime. If you love learning about valuable coins, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on life-changing coins. Let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Until next time, happy hunting! Have you ever held a Roosevelt dime in your hand and wondered, could this tiny coin be worth a life-changing fortune? Well, get ready, because today, we're diving into the unbelievable story of the 2013 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin that has stunned collectors and numismatists alike with a jaw-dropping valuation of $16 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single Roosevelt dime from 2013 has reached legendary status. But why? What makes this particular coin so special? And could you be holding one in your pocket right now? Stay with me until the end, because you won't believe the details. Before we dive into the insane value of this 2013 Roosevelt dime, let's take a quick step back in time. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who played a major role in leading the U.S. through the Great Depression and World War II. But did you know? His connection to the dime was no coincidence. Roosevelt was a huge advocate for the March of Dimes, a campaign dedicated to fighting polio, a disease that personally affected him. His legacy was immortalized on this small yet powerful piece of American currency. So, what is it about the 2013 Roosevelt dime that makes it worth more than a luxury mansion, a fleet of supercars, or even a private island? The answer lies in a rare and mysterious minting error that has made this dime one of the most sought-after coins in recent history. The 2013 Roosevelt dime was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, Mintmark, one of the primary locations responsible for producing billions of U.S. coins. Now, normally, these dimes are struck in massive quantities without any unusual characteristics. However, in a small handful of cases, something remarkable happened. The $16 million Roosevelt dime is not just any ordinary dime. It features an incredibly rare double-die obverse (DDO) error, where the design on the front of the coin was accidentally struck twice, causing a noticeable doubling of the letters, numbers, and even Roosevelt's face. This error occurred due to a slight misalignment of the dies at the Philadelphia Mint, creating a dramatic and highly collectible mistake. But that's not all. There's another known full silver planchet error, a phenomenon where a dime is accidentally struck on a 90% silver blank, despite the U.S. Mint officially discontinuing silver dimes after 1964. This means that some 2013 Roosevelt dimes exist with silver content, making them even rarer. Now you might be wondering, how did this dime reach a staggering $16 million? It all comes down to demand, rarity, and historical significance. Coins with rare minting errors are like hidden treasures. Numismatists, coin collectors, are always on the hunt for unique pieces that stand out. The 2013 Roosevelt dime with the double die obverse and full silver planchet error is believed to have only a few known examples in existence. With so few available, competition among collectors is fierce. In an unbelievable auction event, a collector paid a record-breaking $16 million for a 2013 Roosevelt dime graded MS-70 by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, which is the highest possible grade a coin can achieve, meaning it was in absolute flawless condition. Imagine turning a 10-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar fortune. Look at the date. Make sure your dime is from 2013 and has the P mint mark, found just above the year. Examine Roosevelt's face and lettering. Use a magnifying glass and check for doubling in the design, especially on the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust. Weigh your dime. A regular 2013 P dime weighs 2.27 grams, but if yours is struck on a silver planchet, it will weigh around 2.5 grams. Check for errors. If your dime has any unusual features like missing ridges, a double strike, or an odd color, you may have something special. If you think you have one, don't spend it. Instead, take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated and appraised. You never know, you might be holding the next multi-million-dollar dime. So there you have it. The 2013 Roosevelt dime, a small but mighty coin that has shaken the numismatic world with its unbelievable value. Who would have thought that a simple pocket change find could be worth as much as an entire fortune? This just goes to show, treasures are hiding in plain sight, and the next rare dime could be waiting for you to discover it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coin collecting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest and greatest in the world of valuable coins. Have you ever found an unusual dime or coin? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, every coin has a story, maybe yours is worth millions. What if I told you that a simple 2018 Roosevelt dime, yes, the one you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth an astonishing $17 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, in the world of rare coins and numismatics, anything is possible. Stay with me as we dive deep into the history, key factors, and jaw-dropping values of this modern-day treasure. Before we get into what makes the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime special, let's take a quick look at the Roosevelt dime's history. This iconic coin was first introduced in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime. The design was meant to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who played a critical role in leading the U.S. through the Great Depression and World War II. His commitment to ending polio through the March of Dimes campaign was a key reason for his appearance on the coin. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has been minted every year, undergoing some subtle design changes but always retaining its legendary profile. The Philadelphia Mint, where the 2018 P dime was struck, has been a major producer of U.S. coins since the 1790s. Okay, so why on earth would a common 2018 P Roosevelt dime be worth millions? Here's the deal, it's all about mint errors, varieties, and condition. Let's break it down. The biggest reason why certain 2018 P dimes are fetching sky-high prices is because of rare errors. Here are some key errors you should be looking for. Off-center strikes. Some dimes were struck off-center, meaning the design is not fully aligned. These errors can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on severity. Double die obverse (DDO). This happens when the design is stamped twice, creating a doubling effect. Some collectors are willing to pay big bucks for dramatic examples. Missing clad layer. A dime missing its nickel coating can expose the copper core, making it an instant collector's item. Broad-struck dimes. If a dime is struck outside the retaining collar, it appears slightly wider and is highly collectible. Another major factor is condition. A regular 2018 P. Roosevelt dime in circulation is only worth 10 cents, but if you have one in perfect mint state, MS-70, condition, it can skyrocket in value. A certified MS-68 or higher 2018 P. Roosevelt dime has been known to sell for thousands at auctions. The highest graded ones can hit record-breaking prices, especially if they have unique toning or full bands on the torch. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is there really a 2018 P. Roosevelt dime worth $17 million? The short answer? Yes and no. While no official sale of a 2018 P dime for $17 million has been confirmed, rumors circulate in the numismatic community that a super rare one-of-a-kind mint error or an ultra-perfect graded specimen could command an insane price from a wealthy collector. Host, smiling. Crazy? Maybe. But in the past, we've seen coins sell for unbelievable amounts. A 1794 flowing hair dollar once sold for over $10 million. And the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle went for $18.9 million. So, is it impossible that a 2018 P. Roosevelt dime could hit that level? Absolutely not. So, what should you do? Here's a step-by-step guide to checking if you have a valuable 2018 P. Roosevelt dime. Check the mint mark, make sure it has the P for Philadelphia. Look for errors, use a magnifying glass to examine doubling, missing clad layers, or off-center strikes. Check the condition, the shinier and more flawless, the better. Get it graded. If you think you have something special, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Listed at auctions, eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Stack's Bowers are great places to sell rare coins. Who knows? Maybe you have a $17 million dime sitting in your piggy bank right now. That's it for today's deep dive into the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime. If you love discovering hidden treasures and rare coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And hey, if you find a rare dime, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story.